Cynthia Williams is out as president of Wizards of the Coast. Hey there, adventurers. Welcome back to Short Rest Studios. My name is Judd, and today I want to talk about the latest news that Cynthia Williams, president, CEO, depends on which news outlet you read, of Wizards of the Coast, has resigned. Her last day is going to be April 26, 2024. A variety of news sources have reported this news, so I'm going to link to one from comicbook.com because that was the most fleshed out article that I found. And if you want some more insights on this, Professor Dungeon Master at Dungeon Craft and Bob Worldbuilder both have great videos where they talk about their thoughts on this article, these articles as well. So here's the gist of it straight from the article. Wizards of the Coast president Cynthia Williams is leaving the company at the end of the month. An SEC filing disclosed that Cynthia Williams, the president of Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro Gaming, has informed Hasbro that she was leaving the company as of April 26th. Per the SEC filing, Hasbro is conducting a process to identify her successor, looking at both internal and external candidates. So hey, they're looking at external candidates. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm firing up my resume.
I fired up my resume.
We'll get into talking about the possible futures in a minute, but the main thing I want to focus on is a look at Cynthia Williams' legacy at Wizards of the Coast. Her previous post was at Microsoft, and prior to that, she was at Amazon. She was pretty well versed in the digital realm of things, and she's kind of famous among D&D fans for saying that the IP is under-monetized, and that gave everybody a lot of fear about possibly experiencing microtransactions and things like that in their D&D game. But she's done a lot of good stuff, or at least some good stuff has happened in her tenure at Wizards. She's been at Wizards for 2 years. She oversaw the purchase of DnDBeyond, which, was probably going on before she got there, but she was there when it happened. She was president of Wizards of the Coast when they made $1 gazillion with Baldur's Gate 3, that was a huge hit video game that drew a lot of attention to the D&D IP, and she probably didn't have a whole lot to do with that, but, the game was released under her tenure as president. So I think she deserves some credit for being there overseeing those things. Also, under Williams' tenure, Monopoly Go, which is not something that we talk about here too much, but it's made a lot of money, something like $2 billion for Hasbro, and she was the executive over that. And listen, I'm sure there are other good things that happened during Williams' tenure that I'm not thinking of, or that maybe I don't even know about. But there were a lot of bad things, a lot of very visible, very public bad things that happened. 2023, well, that was pretty much a dumpster fire, right? Williams was CEO when the OGL scandal happened. And for those of you who maybe don't remember or weren't really paying attention then, which that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still having fun playing D&D. The rest of us are mad all the time.
Mad? Yeah, mad!
The OGL has been in existence for some time, and it's what allows third-party publishers to create D&D 5e content. But they tried to update the OGL, and it was not popular. It was a huge misstep. They tried to institute some things in the updated OGL that would take away those third-party publishers' rights to their own content. They also instituted some other things that would have made it really, really difficult, if not impossible, for many, if not all, of those third-party publishers to stay in business. And so you've seen a lot of the fan base and a lot of third-party publishers start to move away from 5e compatible material. Also infamously, she was at Wizards of the Coast as president when they sent Pinkerton agents after a YouTuber who accidentally got his hands on some leaked Magic the Gathering cards. It makes sense that they would want to retrieve that property. The punishment doesn't fit the crime. Sending Pinkertons after him is a little Old West, don't you think?
You tell him I'm coming!
And there have been some book releases like Spelljammer that people didn't like too much, and then there are things like the Deck of Many Things, which that whole release was apparently botched almost from the beginning, and so it did not come out the way it was supposed to. Those are kind of just part of doing business. I think they're kind of minor, but the OGL and the Pinkerton incident really stand out in people's minds, and for a lot of people are going to define Cynthia Williams' legacy at Wizards of the Coast. So what does this mean for us, the consumers? I don't know that it means a whole lot. They hired Cynthia Williams because of her experience in digital gaming. That's the direction I believe Hasbro wanted to take D&D, wanted to take Wizards of the Coast more into the digital realm. And so they purchased DnDBeyond. They are building their own VTT. They are creating mobile apps like Monopoly Go and Magic Arena. This surge toward digitalization of D&D has happened while Williams was at the helm of Wizards, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that came strictly from her. That could have come from her superiors at Hasbro. And I think it probably did, and it's probably still a direction that they're going to pursue. I don't think Cynthia Williams leaving the company is going to change that direction. I do think it's possible that Cynthia Williams resigned because she was asked to. Even though the company's making money, the public opinion has been really damaged, incredibly damaged. And I think somebody probably had to take the fall for that. And if you can't put the blame directly on somebody, it always stops at the person in charge. What about the future? Who's going to be the next CEO? Well, that's up to them. And I'm just going to tell you, I have no clue. Professor DM over at Dungeon Craft suggested Stephen Glicker of Roll for Combat as the next CEO. That's his pick. I mean, listen, I got nothing against Stephen Glicker at all. I love his channel. They put out some very well-received products. I think it's kind of ridiculous to suggest someone whose company has 2 employees, I think, become the CEO of a major corporation. I think that we're going to see them go after someone similar to Cynthia Williams. I think I would love to see someone who knows the types of games that Wizards produces, understands the products better, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to wind up with somebody whose focuses on digital and monetizing those IP. So what do you think? I genuinely would like to know what you guys think the future holds. What are your opinions on Cynthia Williams and her tenure? What are your opinions about who's going to be the next CEO or what the company is going to look like moving forward? I would love to hear it. So put it in the comments down below. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Short Rest Studios.